Let's talk about Tesla buying regrets. You know, if I'm being painfully honest, there are two regrets, really, that I have in buying the new Tesla. And if you're not familiar with the channel, maybe you're new here, what I'm in is a 2024 Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive. I'll add another regret. We'll make it three. First of all, let me say, I love the car. It is awesome. I mean, from the tech inside, the views that you get, the simplicity of the car, I think it is just awesome. The ride quality, the power, everything is just awesome about the car. Now, you're probably hearing some rattling there. That's stuff that I have in the car, not the car itself. So anyway, what are those regrets? Well, number one is pricing. Unfortunately, I bought this car right before Tesla decided they were going to lower the pricing a little bit because sales are down. So I could have saved, I don't know, $1,000 to $3,000, something like that. I think it kind of depends on maybe where you're at or when exactly you hit the portal that you use to buy Teslas from Tesla. In case you didn't know, you can't really, at least not in Texas, you can't go to a dealer lot somewhere, walk around and pick out the Tesla that you want. Doesn't really work that way. You have to buy through, in my case, the office in California, which means you have to send all the paperwork, make payment, do all that stuff that you normally would do when you're buying a new vehicle remotely. In this case, from a completely different state. Kind of a weird way to do things. In the end, after maybe some unsure moments on my part, it worked out okay. And I guess the biggest unsure thing that I had was the way that you make payment. You know, you can actually send a cashier's check, but you have to send that in the mail, and it has to get to the Tesla facility and then clear before you can actually pick up the car. Now, I'm pretty impatient, so waiting for that, that's kind of a drag. The unsure part that I had and the way that I ended up paying with it is you can give Tesla access to your bank account, and then they will deduct the money directly from you. That's an instant thing so that they know they get paid. You can also wire the funds, but that also can take up to 2 or 3 days by the time it clears through Tesla themselves. Again, being an impatient person, not really a good option for me. The second thing that I guess I regret is not getting the all-wheel drive for a couple of reasons. And these are pretty petty reasons, but one, you get a little bit better fuel economy. I think it's like 70 miles more or something like that, versus buying the all or two-wheel drive, which is what I bought. I don't really need that. You know, I use the car for just kind of running errands, maybe put 10 to 20, 50 miles at the most on it at any one time. So that's not really a big deal, although it's just a peace of mind thing. It'd be nice to have as much range as you can get, I suppose. But the big reason for me in maybe regretting not getting the all-wheel drive is the acceleration. The all-wheel drive version of the Model 3 is what I would say much quicker. Not that the rear-wheel drive isn't quick itself. It really is. And that's kind of why I justified in my own mind going with just the rear-wheel drive, because it is pretty quick anyway, but I'm kind of an acceleration junkie, right? I could have had a Tesla that was, I think it's like 4 seconds or something like that, 0 to 60, faster than what I have, which translates into quicker acceleration off the line. That would have been pretty cool to have, but I'm not overly disappointed. It's not a huge regret, but nonetheless, it's a minor regret anyway. Number 3, and this I didn't even know about at the time, but Tesla put out the Model 3 Performance Edition. Now, I did not know. I guess here's a good reason to do your research, although I'm not sure it was even announced when I bought this car. But it would have been nice to know that. I might have waited Of course, it would have cost me more money, substantially more money, about $8,000, something like that. However, there is a tax credit on the performance version of the Model 3 that I did not get on the what I'll call standard version or regular version of the Model 3. $7,500. So that, in essence, would have eaten up some of the extra cost, I guess, that it would have been over just getting the rear-wheel drive version. And actually, the performance version is cheaper than the all-wheel drive version, strangely. And not only do you get a quicker car, I mean, it's 0 to 60 in, I think, like 2-point-some-odd seconds, which is amazing to me still. But you also get more range out of that car. So going back to, my reason for maybe not getting the all-wheel drive, or my regret for not getting it as far as range goes, I would have gotten even more with the Tesla 3 Performance, I suppose. Now, some of you may be wondering, why didn't I go for the Model Y? Tesla is actually, when I bought this car, they were offering a better deal on the Model Y, less money, than you could get the Model 3 for. And the biggest reason, I suppose, is appearance. The Model Y, it's not horrid, but I just don't like it as much from an appearance standpoint as I do the Model 3. It would have made more sense to get a Model Y, honestly, because there's more room inside. I do take a couple of people with me here or there, go out to dinner, whatever, and it would have been more comfortable, I'm sure, in the Model Y for those backseat passengers than it would have been in the Model 3. I also use this car, as I mentioned, for running errands and things, so that typically means I'm picking up something like stuff from Lowe's, maybe some wood, or who knows, could be anything of bigger size, and also for groceries and stuff. I could have easily fit more groceries, which maybe it's a good thing I didn't get the Model Y then. But I could have fit more groceries and that kind of thing inside that vehicle. And I also think from a resale standpoint down the road, the Model Y probably holds its value a little bit better because it is more useful to more people, I guess, and as far as families and a bigger, more SUV kind of access or kind of format for it. But anyway, not something that I'd get because I frankly just didn't like the looks of it as much as I like the Model 3. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, maybe give somebody out there a heads up who happens to be trying to decide whether or not to get a Model 3, which version, maybe a Model 3 versus the Model Y. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've had that issue, trying to decide between the Model Y and the Model 3, and which way did you go and why? I'd be curious. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.